Now on KGW, Starbucks union workers continue their strike at some local stores. Devin Haskins will have a live report from the picket line. Plus,
it was, again, the police moving quickly and stopping it before they could get it sold.
swift police work helped a nonprofit recover almost everything stolen from a storage unit. How a break in a different case tipped off investigators. And Santa, of course, is on the move, Chris, and so are many travelers.
And they are, and they're going to have to contend with some showers right now, a little break in the action tonight, and then significant rain and wind headed our way, we think, Christmas night and beyond. I'll have that forecast coming up in just a bit.
And now here's that look at Santa making his way across the world. We'll be checking in on his progress. The news at noon starts right now. Well, thank you for joining us this Christmas Eve. I'm Ashley Grams. Starbucks union workers are on the picket lines at stores across the country. That includes at least a dozen local Starbucks. Devin Haskins is live outside Pioneer Courthouse Square. Devin, what are workers asking for?
Well, Ashley, the workers say they want a better wage, and what the company's offering them is not good enough. The strike outside the Pioneer Courthouse Square Starbucks started around 10 o'clock this morning. The workers, they're out here, trust me, they are. They decided about a minute ago to go gather around the Christmas tree down there in the Pioneer Courthouse Square. It's one of many strikes that are happening here in Portland as well as across the United States. Happening today, the strike and union supporters started happening around 10 o'clock this morning. The big message is wanting higher wages. Workers wanting a larger raise than what they say the company is offering them. Now, in the most recent offer, Starbucks was guaranteeing baristas a 1.5% wage increase a year. The union wants to see an immediate wage increase of more than 60%. Here in Oregon, there are around 30 stores that are unionized, with about half in the Portland metro area. Starbucks says the strikes are having little impact because they say they have thousands of stores across the country, with only a small percentage of them that have workers on strike.
Help us out. Help out the thousands of union baristas who are just trying to have better working conditions and earn a livable wage. Help us out and don't cross the picket line. Help yourself out and go somewhere with better coffee.
Well, right now this store is still open, but as customers walk in to go get their coffee and walk out, Starbucks workers on strike are meeting them with jeers and boos. The workers say that Starbucks stores will be back open again. Will be open again tomorrow. Back to you.
Thank you so much, Devin. Let's check in with meteorologist Chris McGinnis. Chris, you say rain is on the way, or it's here?
More rain. Yeah, we are dealing with that right now. In fact, Ashley, you probably saw in Devin's live shot there, he's getting some rain in downtown Portland. We've got good rain falling across a good chunk of the area right now. Clark and Cowlitz County. By the way, there was a crash on southbound I-5 up in the Kalama area, which I'm not sure if the rain had anything to do with it, but it is backing up some traffic there right now. Over the last 3 hours, we've seen the steady rain from last evening kind of taper off into more occasional showers, and that's been the trend for the last 3 or 4 hours this morning. That trend will continue downward in terms of overall rainfall, right? So I am looking for that over the next little while. Meanwhile, we take you up to Timberline, 3 inches of fresh snow. It is snowing up there right now. Cascade Passes look like this. We're actually down to bare pavement at Government Camp. It's a little slushy there. Santiam Pass, though, at 30 degrees, does have a little bit of light snow on it. And Willamette Pass, which is higher, right at the freezing mark with some slush. There will be snow in and around the passes over the next several days. How much is it's going to vary a little bit, but just be prepared for that. 52 last check at PDX. The plan for the remainder of the day, showers diminishing, mostly cloudy at 50 and mid-40s this evening as we look for maybe some fog to form overnight tonight. That's tonight, early tomorrow. And then we turn our attention to this. High wind watch at the coast, winter storm watch in the Cascades, and what I think will wind up being some significant rain and wind in the Willamette Valley later tomorrow and tomorrow night. I'll walk you through that in just a few minutes.
Thank you, Chris. We're continuing to follow updates on a double stabbing that happened yesterday morning. The suspect, accused of stabbing 2 people at a Portland Crown Plaza hotel, is expected to appear in court in just a few hours. It happened just before 3:30 yesterday morning at the hotel on Northeast 2nd and Weidler. Portland police say a woman called 911 to report she'd been stabbed by a woman who was destroying hotel property. Here's how a witness described it.
This guy was out there trying to calm her down, and she went after him and she was like, "I'm gonna kill you." I've never heard such a truly murderous rage come out of somebody.
Police say the suspect, 19-year-old Sinead Daniels, stabbed a hotel employee and a guest. Both victims were taken to the hospital with non-life-threatening injuries. And one person was killed in a two-car crash on I-5 North near Albany this morning. It happened just before 2 a.m. Northbound lanes of I-5 were closed for over 4 hours, but have since reopened. The cause of the crash is under investigation. We don't know yet if any others were hurt. And Portland fire crews had to extract a person from this car near Mount Scott and 112th last night. Investigators say just after 9, the car rolled over and caught fire, seriously injuring the person inside. They were taken to the hospital. No word yet on their condition. And now to some good news for a local nonprofit that was the victim of a recent burglary. Authorities tracked down the suspects and some of the stolen equipment that was worth tens of thousands of dollars. Alma McCarty shows us how one small detail led detectives straight to the suspects.
Inside this Westland storage unit, Charles Lewis keeps his supplies for nonprofit home inspections.
We do home inspections on a sliding scale so that everybody can afford the benefits of a home inspection.
Although this is pretty specialized equipment, that didn't keep criminals from breaking in back in October. Lewis first got a motion alert from these Ring cameras on his phone.
I froze for about 10-15 seconds and I was like, because I'm like, am I seeing this right? And when it was clear, yes, this is somebody really breaking in, I hit the alarm siren button, went off. Guy freaked out, grabbed a bunch of stuff and ran.
And although police searched the unit and secured the building, the thieves came back a couple hours later, grabbing everything from radon machines to sewer scopes.
A bunch of stuff, but total it was about $75,000 worth of stuff, and it was quite a haul and pretty devastating for a small nonprofit to lose that much equipment that quickly.
Lewis assumed that would be the end of it until a burglary at this liquor store in Wilsonville.
The smallest thing can break cases like this, and it just takes everyone kind of throwing tips out there.
Detective Catlin Blythe with the Westland Police Department says he got several calls connecting both cases.
He told me that the suspect was wearing a very similar hat, which was the connection between the two, was the same hat.
Lewis noticed it too.
And I was like, that's the same guy. I was like, I could tell with the P, the same build, everything. I was like, that's the guy.
Now, after a couple months on the case, investigators served search warrants in Washington, recovering stolen property, including equipment from Lewis's storage unit.
So actually just earlier today, we were able to have the victim of that come back in and collect a bunch of the equipment. It wasn't every single piece, but it was majority of the pieces, which felt good to get back to him.
They had scratched off like serial numbers, so they were getting ready to sell it. So it was, again, the police moving quickly and stopping it before they could get it sold.
Alma McCarty, KGW News.
A Clark County judge has set bail for a teacher at Vancouver's Hudson's Bay High School who's accused of sexual misconduct with a student at $100,000. Court documents indicate the case against Shedbrion Gatson stems from an alleged sexual relationship between him and a 16-year-old in 2013. Vancouver Public Schools says Gatson has been on leave since last month. In court, prosecutors added there might be an allegation involving another student from this year. Gatson's lawyer declined to comment. And here's a look at some national headlines this afternoon. In New York, a man is charged with murder, accused of setting a woman on fire on a subway train. A warning, the details here are disturbing. There is surveillance video, though we're not going to show it to you, where investigators say you can see 33-year-old Sebastian Zepeda approach the woman and set her clothes on fire. She was engulfed in flames in a matter of seconds, police say. He then watched from a bench outside the train car. The woman, whose name has not been released, did not survive. Police say the two did not know each other. And some holiday travelers were on pause this morning after the FAA grounded all American Airlines flights across the country. The FAA has since lifted that ground stop. American said the problem was a technical issue with a third party and was fixed within an hour of the stop being issued. According to FlightAware, almost 1,500 flights were delayed and 28 flights were canceled. Former President Bill Clinton was discharged from the hospital today after being treated for the flu. Clinton was admitted to the hospital yesterday for testing and observation after developing a fever. His deputy chief of staff said in a statement today that Clinton sends his warmest wishes for a happy and healthy holiday season. And those are your national headlines.